Hello and welcome back. First map was an absolute epic. We hope for more of the same here on Dust 2. It is the Apeks map pick and coming very, very close to stealing away Winstrike's map pick. We'll be hoping to tie up the series. Let's see whether or not they can do it. Not going to be easy. Winstrike, a formidable opponent, but good signs from Apeks in that first map. Let's see how it goes on the pistol. Crad continuing his form from that previous map, finding an opening pick, much like he did prior. Taking down relaxers. This long push hasn't really found much for Apeks. It's just showing a bit of face. The real push is going to be coming in towards B. The bomb on its way to rotate over, but Forrester dealing with the initial threat from these Apeks players. The entire B hits, in fact, has been dealt with the support of Lackey. Forrester and Elian have taken a lot of damage, but it's still a 5-on-2. Grassan, he's spotted in towards mid, gets a dink onto Nickelback, so a few of these players now very low HP for Winstrike. 3 of them have about combined 40 HP. So potential for a few quick kills here for the Apeks side. Maybe Forrester put a stop to it. No, he can't. Grassan is quick to finish him off. That was one of the low HP players. Now these last 2 Apeks players are going to try pushing forward, but Lackey secures the first, and Crad both started off the round and finished off the round. But it is Winstrike picking up an opening round. So Apeks, they go for a couple of Deagles, a few Tech 9s as a full force here. Try and fight back against Winstrike. They didn't really find much damage in that previous round, no bomb plant, so Winstrike could be able to find some decent cash here. A couple of MP9s that might be able to farm against these pistol players. We'll have to wait and see, though. Decent damage with that nade onto Forrester. Let's see. There's Apeks. They're setting themselves up for a hit towards the B site. They've set a lot of utility down, but Forrester, he's going to stand tall, and he's yelling timber as he knocks down a couple. Not able to find anything else as the Deagles, they're going to find damage. Elian on the site, he's being hounded, and Apeks, they've managed to get themselves into the Fortress B site. Dennis in mid as well, might be able to catch the rotation. There goes Nickelback. It's all up towards Crad in a 1v3, and somehow Apeks, they fought back immediately. With just Tech 9s, a couple of Deagles. They've managed to get out of this round with a couple of rifles, an MP9, and most importantly, round win. Right, okay. He's at least taken a couple of the weapons away from the Apeks side. Relax is going to die to the bomb. Chucks the M4 or the AUG as far away as he can. I'm pretty sure I just saw the M4 there tucked away against the box. Anyone know that ending song from ESL? What does it go like? I know quite a lot of them from my time. Yeah, okay, 1 second. Ooh. Nice shot from Grassan. He's even going to be able to double it up onto Lackey as well. Elian is able to fight back. Looking for more damage. He's even tagged up Kreese through that smoke. He tried to salvage the weapon. Dennis on his AK, though, he's going to keep the Apeks side in the advantage. Eagle and a scout, all that remains for Winstrike here after they found the pistol. Things came crashing down. Maybe Forrester is not going to clear out the angle. Maybe he should have. Might have had a chance on that kill. It was Kree's low HP. And now it's just Elian in towards the A site being absolutely ransacked. Dennis closes it down with a second kill for himself in that round. So 2-1 Apeks. Getting off to a decent start here. It is their map pick, and it is Winstrike who hold a 1-0 advantage in the series right now. That is just 4 USPs, 4 AKs, and a Galil fighting against those 4 USPs. Should be pretty simple for Apeks here to find a third. Maybe this mid push that looks like that looks like Winstrike is sort of setting up for here could maybe wield a kill. There is Grassan in towards the lower tunnels who might get caught out, and he will get caught out, not finding even as much as a smidge of damage. So that's an AK for Forrester. Collected as well as a Molotov. But with Apeks clearing out that A site, it is a vacated bomb site. Nobody from Winstrike there to try and collect the rent. The Apeks players were able to move in, and Elian has killed himself. And that's not good. He's actually disconnected from the server. But the rest of that round went about as well as you'd expect. It was an absolute massacre towards the double doors. As we do have a pause coming through. Winstrike will take a technical here to await the return of their teammate. And as I say that, Elian has bounded his way back into the server. Should be getting ourselves back going in just a short moment. Winstrike. Time to try and get a gun round under your belt here. Get off early. Considering you won the pistol and Apeks fought back almost immediately. Well, pretty much immediately. You now need to try and find something for yourself, and that's good work from Nickelback. Bit of a veteran in the CIS scene. He's found the opening kill for Winstrike. Gets out alive. Admittedly, we're just 5 HP, but still, you only need 1 to survive. You only need 1 HP to kill as well. He's still a player on the server, no matter how easily he can be taken down. How do Apeks fight back from this position? They've got a lot of control out towards long, but with short pretty comfortably, and now mid as well, in control of Winstrike. Apeks are gonna have a lot of eyes trained on them, a lot of guns aimed in their direction as they do push forward. Grassan's able to burn out Nickelback. That is the low HP player. But Lackey, he's there to keep it in an advantage, if not just for a moment, as Relaxer, he'll get a double man sprayed down towards short, leaving Forrester the only man alive, and Grassan, he'll finish it off with the free K. Apeks, they fight back from a man disadvantage. A great hit towards the A site from long, and considering how much intel Winstrike had as well, there was 4 players? At least 3 players over towards that A site who were all going to be looking out towards long because they just cleared mid and short. So there's absolutely no way there was a push coming from mid to short or anything like that. So, yeah, a lot of focus would have been on those players, and they somehow managed still to pull out the dub there, Apeks. Nice work from them. Is their map for a reason. Elian was a deagle towards short, though. Picks off a first, walks backwards into the molly, takes a bit of damage. And Krees has messed up the smoke for the mid doors. Not what you want to see. Careful, Kreese. Is he going to walk into the crosshair as well? Yes, he is. That's a third kill for Elian. Eagle towards short, picks up 2, finds an AK. That shouldn't be happening, and now Crad with a USP. I'm glad we saw at least the back end of that. He gets the kill. Relaxer falls, not checking his angles. And now it's just Freddy Frog all on his lonesome, a 1v4. Admittedly, only armor for one player, that is Nickelback. But 3 AKs picked up, and now Freddy Frog spotted out. Makes things a little bit more difficult for him. Winstrike aren't going to have to go around searching the map for him. They know where he is. Elian's now positioning himself into all the long doors and should be able to get this kill. No, why is he looking there? Luckily, Lackey will finish off the kill. But why did Elian look at the corner? Like, I acknowledge that maybe he was just clearing it out for a moment, but he stayed looking at that for a long time. That was a little weird. Maybe, like, was just lifted his mouse up to, like, move something off his mouse pad or something. Don't know. But very weird. Either way, it is Winstrike who's still come away with the round thanks to Elian and his 3 kills to open it up. So I can forgive him looking at a corner for no reason for a prolonged period of time. That's not the flashbang you wanted to throw, I don't think. And now the Forester is going to knock down a couple trees. Rasan and Kreese, they fall, and with Crad in a decent position towards top mid, he's going to find Dennis in the back as well, leaving just Freddy and Relaxer, a 2v4. The Winstrike, they're finding rounds here, a few early ones on the board, and they're looking pretty convincing as well, as Freddy Frog might find this shot, does tap away Crad and his noggin. .2v4 bomb and Freddy Frog's back over towards the B tunnels. Lax has been found towards short. Freddy Frog follows suit very shortly after. Winstrike closing the gap 3-4. My chair is squeaking a lot. Hope you can't hear it. If you can. Squeaky chair gang. Winstrike, double orbs for them. And Nickelback with an MP9. Perhaps acknowledging that it's probably going to be a limited buy here for the Apeks side. They actually go for Kreese on a bit of a hero AK. Rasan gets up a Galil on armor while keeping about 2k in his bank. Interesting to see Kreese buying that deep. As he does actually make the AK work for one. But the rest of his team being laid to waste. One by one, its limited use starts to diminish. He's just going to shuffle that off away from danger as well. Doesn't want any of those Apeks players to get their grubby hands on it. Out towards long. It's going to be Nickelback with an MP9 to try and farm some cash, but he gets absolutely nothing done. Relax is going to blow his head off. And that leaves a 3-on-3. Apeks finding damage with this limited buy. Might just be able to pull this one off. Forrester, though, surely going to be able to catch a kill here. Even with a single smoke down, there's going to be a gap in that one. That you just can't smoke it with a single one. And he's not able to find the shot. That nade might finish off one. Does a lot of damage. Puts the Relaxer down to 9. He's still holding for this cross position. Now shifting to the other side. Maybe he can find more. And there's the final kill. Strike. They'll tie up the game. Limited buy for Northug, aka Apeks, but yeah, why did Kreese buy that deeply into the round? Because now he's left with just 3,200, and he gets a Mach 10 through, but he should really be having an AK with the rest of his team, or at least a Galil. Interesting one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a bit of miscommunication on the Apeks side, but who knows? Maybe it was a conscious choice. I mean, Winstrike, they're left with an MP9 of their own, so it's not like they're at a massive disadvantage. But there goes the MP9 from Nickelback. He's been absolutely nailed trying to push deep out towards long. Caught by the waiting Apeks players, and now a man advantage for Apeks as they hope to give themselves the lead once again. Crad, he's in an aggressive position towards long, trying to support Nickelback before he went down. He's been caught out, and now a 4-on-3, or 5-on-3 rather, but they're pushing through the flames and into Forrester's crosshair, but he's only able to manage one. Elian on the site is going to try and restore some normality. He's the last player alive in a 1v3, but that may not stop him. Freddy Frog will, though. And it is Apeks, and 9 Winstrike the lead. Taking it for themselves. And pushing Winstrike. Use up all of their cash that they've got remaining. They get the AWP up for Elian, a few rifles to come through in support, but no spare cash for the Apeks side means that could be Winstrike on an eco if they're not able to pick this one up, and Freddy Frog almost gets the third as well. He's completely annihilated any sort of long defense that Winstrike hoped to achieve there. With 15 HP on Lackey and 2 kills found. As well as a third, I think, out towards mid. It is going to be Apeks surely with a 6th. Winstrike, they are saving these 2 M4s. Lackey and Forrester hoping that the B site will be a bit of solitude for them. Forrester doing some damage, hoping to keep this M4 alive, but with Grease over towards the upper tunnels. Excuse me. Not gonna be easy. The bomb is ticking down. Oh, Grease! He's been absolutely phenomenal. His first bullet accuracy has been sublime. Oh my lord. I wish I could play like that. But I can't, that's why I talk about the game instead. Apeks, they forced Winstrike into an eco, and this should be a pretty simple round. If anything goes wrong here with a single deagle and 4 USPs, that may just be it for me. I may just sort of... I may be sent off the deep end. We'll have to wait and see. I have confidence, though. I have confidence that Apeks will pick this up with their AKs. A bit of a stack towards short. A few players looking for any sort of intel, maybe a kill. Instead, it's Grasson who opens things up, gets the first, but needs to watch out for this push from behind. Lackey with a USP. He's going to be able to nail him down. Nice shot to find and an AK picked up, but still it's Apeks with the weaponry advantage and a 2-man advantage. As Lackey's going to try and save that AK. Forrester may stick around a bit longer to maybe find a deagle kill. But really for Winstrike, the aim is just to keep this AK alive. So Forrester sort of has tunnels covered for Lackey. So if they come through the B side to tunnels, which is unlikely, at least in the time frame given, Lackey will know about him. With Forrester falling, Lackey does now know their position, but a few shots through the smoke from Lackey now gives up his position. He should be fine though. No real way of them finding a bullet onto him. As it is Apeks up to 7, having a pretty strong start on this T side. There was a few rounds for Winstrike in there when they got the guns out, but it's really been Apeks, who've had the solid advantage. And remember as well, it was Winstrike who picked up the pistol round, lost the immediate following round to some Tech 9s and Deagles from the Apeks side, but right now it's Apeks who are looking pretty dandy right now. His gun's out for Winstrike, the 4 M4s alongside the saved AK. Lackey's still wielding that. And he's going to put it to good use as well. Finding an opening shot through those mid doors, through the smoke as well. Hands Winstrike an advantage. One that's not going to be traded out by Apeks. They've not been able to. Four on 5 attempt to push in towards this A side. Is Nickelback who's going to extend it into a 5 on 3, make it a 5 on 1. As eventually Nickelback falls, but 3 kills found. A huge set of kills for him. Secures the round, as it is just Dennis alive out in the open. A player coming from behind as well. Dennis finds 1, but Lackey will secure the final blow. Now, Winstrike, there's still potential to have a pretty solid first half here. I mean, 5 on the board already, not bad. Apeks, though, I feel like they're pretty much guaranteed. It's pretty much guaranteed that they'll find a couple more rounds at some point in this half, with a few more to play for here. I mean, Winstrike will be hoping they can find 6, maybe 7. For now. Still a 5 on 5. A lot of damage done towards these Apeks players. Dennis and Grossan. They have been chipped down to a combined 90 HP between them two. Looks like the B site is going to be under a lot of threat. I'm not talking about beyond threat. I'm talking about danger. Forrester in position towards the site. He'll be taking first contact. Does have Lackey over by the car. That flashbang forces Forrester off the angle for a moment, and he's somehow able to get taken down by Kreese without a single kill found. Lackey tries to make up for it with one of his own, but it's now up to Nickelback, who's worked his way in, and he can't find anything either. Surely Winstrike gonna have to save here as the bomb gets planted. And they know that the player's in towards CT. They're not able to clear him out. Dennis has been able to find Delian, and Crad, he's just going to bail out of there. Actually, fair enough, Crad. He was ready for that fight. Expect him to go down there, but he keeps himself alive, if maybe not just for a little bit longer. What about the pitch? Should be alright here. He can just play the headshot angle. But it is going to be Apeks up to an 8th. They will secure themselves the lead for half-time. Crad's now just going to not even peek out. He's just going to chill in there. In the pit. Keep the M4 alive. Doesn't need to go for the fight. There's no real gain to it. Apeks have pretty decent cash. Maybe an extra kill would have helped out things because, you know, I mean, Grossan, Kreese are about 1k each. An opening kill from Kreese. Apeks looking good. Try and find 9 as that's another shot. Kreese is just so on it right now. In both of these maps, he's looked absolutely phenomenal. He's been like he's 11 and 8 in this game. Not necessarily like star power, but I think a bit of a slow start for him. But he's certainly been looking crisp. Been hitting shots he shouldn't really have a chance in. So that's it. Oh, that's an easy one for him. And a very sedate round, that one. But a round nonetheless for Apeks, just against the limited weaponry from Winstrike there. Some deagles strewn around the place. And of course, what else would it be in the final round of the half if not a couple autos firing down mid? They've collected diddly squat, to be fair, so Winstrike able to avoid all of the damage that was flung down range. It was only Forrester who'd crossed over towards that P site. He's been able to stay up to a pretty pristine condition. He's a factory new. I love this angle for Elian. He's watching for that boost towards the underground position. Or the lower tunnels, I should say. And I guess, final round of the half. Probably a pretty decent chance that somebody would try it. Now he falls back. Going to be able to drop off into CT if he needs to. And he definitely does need to as a flashbang comes through. He gets tagged up, does fade away to safety though, and that's the idea with that setup. Crad has been able to find the opening kill for Winstrike, so maybe a 6th here, but we've seen Apeks plenty of times have fought back. There was the opening that will, hopefully for Apeks, find them to fight back, and it's all just a ruse though. They're able to catch Elian in transition over towards CT. They're able to get in towards that A site. It's vacated and get that bomb planted. And now it's up towards a 3-on-3 for Winstrike to try and retake this A bomb site. Relaxing with the AWP, posting up to look towards short. Surely has this kill. He does. And it's an absolute bloodbath. It's Apeks schooling Winstrike in this round. And it's Crad left in a 1v3 as there's the first shot. Takes down Relaxer. 2 more AKs to find, but Rasan won't let that happen, and it is Apeks 10 on the board for the first half. They have a very, very strong first half here. Let's see if they can continue that on the CT side. Looking good for them, though. Waiting for this second half to go live. Strommers, Kreese makes you cream. Me too. You're lucky I don't have my don't have a little picture-in-picture camera for you. That would be dirty. Yeah, Norwegian. I know this stream's a little delayed now, but I am reading your messages, and yeah, I agree with the sort of the lack of representation in the Norwegian scene now, because obviously Apeks and Nordvin, they were like the last 2 sort of Norwegian teams that were still being represented on the international scene. You've still, of course, got the Talaya Ligaen, the Norwegian Pro League essentially, well, national competition, I should say, and just checking my phone. Just had a important message. yeah, you've still got obviously like the Talai Legaeum, but now the representation is a lot smaller. Like the rest of that Talai Legaeum isn't really an international competition or on international competition teams. I think with Jacob moving away from the Apeks side and into Extremum, that definitely has set Apeks back and has sort of forced them into this Swedish little core now. And that's sad. But yeah, there's just not... I don't know, there's just not much depth in the Norwegian talent. And sort of the good eggs are being picked away from by the bigger teams. Obviously, Jacob, Rain. And then once they're sort of in the international scene, it's hard to pull them back into sort of a Norwegian team. Sort of like what happened... Well, I mean... Obviously, the Ents managed to build that Finnish team and like pull Alu back in. But it's very hard to do. Very hard to build a sort of a country scene up when the pro players are already sort of at an international level. You need a certain type of person to want to go back and help build the scene up. But enough of that. It is the pistol round underway already, and a few kills found. Alien tapping away one from top mid. Winstrike with the plant towards the A site, and just Kreese and Freddy Frog try and find this round. But Alien, he's going to just at least keep Apeks on their toes here on this retake. They may have a 5-round deficit to overcome Winstrike, but I mean, a pistol round here would start to cut that down. Nice shot from Crad. He's been looking pretty good as well this game in general, both maps. Finding a lot of opening kills on Overpass. A little bit slower, perhaps, on Dust 2 here. He's still been finding some decent frags and sort of impact on the rounds to win him, but with the bomb exploding, it is Winstrike collecting the pistol. One player surviving for either side. Still 4 rounds of... Well, 4 rounds required. The Winstrike to tie this one up. Bit of damage done. Through mid. Relaxer down to 20 HP. Hey Novuk, I remember your name. I can't remember where from, apologies, but I do remember your name, Novuk147. I'm doing pretty decently. Happy to be bringing some Esea Premier matches. How are you doing, man? I know it's maybe a little bit awkward to talk to you though with a bit of delay on here, but as long as you give me the you're doing good, I'll be all right. What should have been a pretty simple round here for Winstrike is turning into a bit more of a difficulty as Dennis just about gets out the flames. A lot of damage done towards a couple of these Apeks players leaves them pretty low on HP. It should be Winstrike up to 7. Just a couple scouts, a Deagle and Mach 10 to try and push back in towards the site for the Apeks side, and plenty of rifles to stop them. There goes Dennis. Make that all up towards Relaxer, 20 HP. And a Galil round straight through the side of the head. You're not going to be recovering from that one anytime soon. Please don't spoil the game, guys. If I am looking at the second chat, it's slow enough for me to read. And there is a couple mods about, I think, who are diving in and out. So if anyone spots people spoiling, just hand them a timeout. I'll also be doing it myself as well. Because don't spoil it for people. Keep that to yourself. People are here there are people here to watch the game. Not everybody's betting. Even if a lot of people who do bet, I bet a lot of them still like to enjoy the game without it being spoiled. So just, you know, be respectful of others, please. This has been, yeah. I was talking over this round because it was, I mean, just basic pistols for the Apeks side, and with just Relax or Alive, it is going to be Winstrike up to 8. So, all good for them. Relax are dealt with. Yeah, 2 rounds more for Winstrike to try and overcome. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty tight scoreline, but obviously Winstrike have won both the pistol rounds in this game. The first half, they weren't able to capitalize on the follow-ups, so Apeks immediately forced bought into victory with a couple of Deagles and some Tech 9s. This time, they did get the 2 follow-ups, but now the gun's out for Apeks. This is probably where Apeks just sort of close out the game now. Although, maybe not. As Forrester, a very quick opening kill for Winstrike. I think it was barely like 10-15 seconds into the round. Captures out Kreese towards long, and it's the Winstrike side an opening that's going to be untraded. Now, nice anti-smoke there from the Apeks side, but that's not where the push is coming through, and with the rotations off of this A site from Apeks, Winstrike might have an easy time of securing this one. No fight even from Apeks, and they're just going to go for the save, it looks like. A 4-on-5, bomb planted towards A. They're just going to try and keep these weapons alive, allow Winstrike to 9, as things now start getting a bit more difficult for the Apeks side. Only 1 kill needed in this round to secure the win for Winstrike. And that was that initial kill out towards long. Kreese going down, a heavy hitter for the Apeks side. And the rest of the team not able to find any sort of equalizing frag. They are going to now try and hunt down some players. There's at least 1 kill for Winstrike, but they lose 2 in return. They won't be worried about that. Got plenty of cash, and taking any guns away here from Apeks would be good. They will lose Lackey as well. So, Apeks still survived with 2 AWPs. The AUG for Freddy Frog. He ended up finding 3 kills in that round, in fact, on the save. Winstrike will only collect a couple guns into the next round, but they have plenty of cash to rebuy. They do need to be a bit careful in this next one, but they don't lose too much again. Obviously, guns out for Apeks once more. Another task for them, but it looks like it's going to be the fast hit towards long once again. Hassan flashed off the angle, and Forrester's going to be able to take up that position, watching for a repeat from Apeks. It's double ups for Apeks. We've got Dennis in towards mid, and Relaxer out towards long, supporting Grassan, who's up close towards those double doors. He may be in for a bit of contact here in a moment, with 4 players in towards the long doors. I'm surprised they're not flashing themselves out. They're just going straight for the walk. Dennis has found a kill towards mid, but there goes Grassan's head. It goes rolling. And he's able to find a couple for himself, at least keeping Winstrike in the advantage. They're not able to find anything either on the cross. It's Winstrike getting themselves in towards that A site, both the remaining CTs in towards mid. And is this going to be another save for Apeks here? Quite possibly. Save the M4 and the AWP. Or the org, sorry. Winstrike. Tying things up. And a very strong start now on this T side. Apeks there. Gonna have max loss bonus, so there's plenty of cash coming in for them. They could potentially get a decent buy up. Obviously, Kreese and Freddy could drop over some weapons to a couple players and still have... Well, Relaxer could buy himself up, actually. He has pretty decent cash. So if they drop over guns to Dennis and Grassan, they could have a pretty solid buy, in fact. Fair play. So they are thinking about the economy there, Apeks, and they've calculated that one down to a T. Relaxer could even buy up the AWP, and he will do. I wonder if Winstrike will expect this, a third gun round in a row. Look at where they've gotten already. Crad, a nice opening pick, but Kreese fights back very, very efficiently, finding 2 kills on that silenced M4. They're unable to locate the tracers through the smoke. And it is going to be Apeks finally with an advantage after these initial fights. It's Winstrike who have put all their eggs in one basket out towards long once again. They're going to go for a run boost out towards long. Elian with the AWP, the one jumping out into the fray. Nobody watching for him, so he's able to get a pretty decent position to watch for any peaks from Apeks. But look at Kreese. Oh, has he been spotted? Oh, Nickelback. I'm not sure if he spotted Kreese there. Not sure if he has. But he might actually catch him fading away here. Oh, he spotted him, surely. Not able to catch him in time. Definitely spotted through that mid-peak was Nickelback. And Apeks are able to extend their lead out to 2. Elian, he could find a kill towards the A side. That might just open things up for them. I'm not sure if Dennis spotted that player out towards long. They definitely know they're there, though. As Kreese is clearing a lot of that B site out. And it's all up towards Lackey 1 versus 4 as he takes down Dennis. Relaxer's next up in line, but that AWP is too quick. It is Apeks denying Winstrike the lead. They'll get themselves up to 11. Now, aggression out towards long for Winstrike yet again. They've been able to get out pretty fast there. The flashbang's working well for Winstrike. They've gotten a player over by the blue containers. But Apeks rather, they're going for the re-aggression. Crad, his legs are sticking out the smoke. He's going to get taken down to just 13 HP. Nickelback's going to swing in for assistance, and Ellie in there as well. They fired the kills required to bail them out of the danger that they were pushed into. That's still Relaxer, though. Over by the car, who might be able to make life difficult for them. He's posted up watching the angle, and do they expect him? This flashbang going over on the Molotov, rather, isn't going to land. It actually lands on top of the little awning there. That flashbang doesn't do anything. As Elian gets caught out in the open by Freddy Frog's AUG. Winstrike, they're just going to yeet themselves over towards the B side. I think they spotted out all 3 players there. Crad might be able to pick up a kill here. But Apeks are definitely going for the save. 3 on 4. Even if Crad is very low on HP. So 11 to 11. Winstrike looking super strong on this T side. Apeks have only found 1 so far. He's just trying to hold on to his weapon on that A site. Might be able to find a kill or 2. Forrester literally underneath him. Greasy gets 1. Fair enough. Surprised he actually managed to get Nickel back before Forrester found him. It is 11-11 and a pause coming through. Apeks calling this pause. And, I mean, you can see why. it's 11-11. And, what do you do if you're Apeks here? What was the round they won? It wasn't anything necessarily spectacular. Winstrike have adjusted well to dealing with whatever Apeks threw at them. So, and it's generally, oh yeah, it was out towards long they won it. They've managed to find a couple opening kills and win out that fight towards long. Winstrike have won that long fight every single time. Other than that, and Kreese getting caught through the mid doors by the AWP. Down to 45 HP he goes. As again, Winstrike, they take control of long. This time it's just one player out towards long as well. As they leave Kreese solo towards B. And Winstrike, that's where 4 of their players are poised to attack. And Winstrike, they're actually going to back away from that. Surprised actually that they didn't want to go for that. It would have been a nice round to go for, because they actually, obviously, well, I don't know exactly what's going through Apeks heads. I never would, but the initial presence towards long looked like it was Apeks expecting more of the same from the Winstrike side. Obviously, leaving only Kreese with that 50 HP towards the B site. Maybe Winstrike have just absolutely gamed this anyway, because Apeks, they rotate a couple of extra players over off of that A site, and now presence being shown towards the A site from Winstrike. This could be essentially a 4-on-2 pushed in towards this A site here, especially with a 1-for-1 trade. Relaxer did peek out, spotted some players, got a kill, but Elian very quick on the refrag leaves Winstrike with a vacated site that they can push themselves into. A player out towards short, that is going to be Grossan. First of the rotators to come through. Elian spotting out just the backpack of Dennis in mid and a quick kill to follow. Apeks are going to have to save again. 3-on-4, the bomb ticking down. They have no presence to try and push forwards. Apeks, I mean, yeah, they're keeping weapons alive, but eventually they're going to have to go for one of these rounds. Sooner or later, because Winstrike, they've gotten the lead. I think for the first time since they won the pistol. It's all started to fall apart. Oh, dearie me. What was looking like a shoe-in for Apeks. Dust 2 has swung madly out of their favour and into the arms of Winstrike. They are the favourites to win this game, that's for sure. But you thought maybe after their performance on Overpass, they almost took Overpass away from Winstrike. The Winstrike map pick. It went to double OT and only just were Winstrike able to close it down. And there was high hopes for Apeks in Dust 2. And then a 10-5 first half, things looking good. They've found one round since then. It's been 7 of the last 8 for the Winstrike side. They have been rocketing through the rounds on this T side. Admittedly helped out by the pistol round victory on this side, but a lot of gun rounds going their way as well, with all of the saving from Apeks. And with Freddy Frog finding an opening kill, that is a nice pick to find. They did not spot the head over towards Card. Dennis is able to get the first, and Freddy Frog over towards the back of site. Together, they will deny Winstrike the site. It is theirs. It is Apex's, and for the first time, I think, this half, since the guns have come out, it has been that B site under threat, and it does not work out for Winstrike. So did Winstrike just go back to Old Faithful, try and control long once again? Looks like they're going to try that. 4 players for Apeks. They are reading this out in that location. Flashbangs do force control of the way, but, I mean, there's just no chance for Forrester there when there's essentially 3 players staring him down. So, Apeks. Opening kill going their way again. Lackey only has a deagle. Now, the push in towards the A site. Croissant gets the opening. Lackey is down and out, and Winstrike, they're struggling, but Nickelback is going to actually burn out Kreese, who was fully blinded, and they're starting to fight back. They've brought it into a 2-on-2. Somehow, somewhere, they found the kills, but Dennis, he will not relent, and he will ensure that Apeks steal back the lead in this game, 13-12. And now, Winstrike, they've been forced onto a low econ round. They've got a few Glocks, a Deagle, 4 Glocks and a Deagle, a couple smokes, a couple flashbangs. Looks like something quick towards B for the Winstrike side. And they're just going to go out and out with it. Freddy Frog, he's over by the car. He's mowing them down. Hippity hop, ribbity ribbity. 4 kills for him. The frog is unleashed. Not the coolest or the most fearsome of animals, but Winstrike will certainly remember this round. Now, Winstrike, they get the buy through. The 2 rounds back from the Apeks side, who've managed to scurry a few rounds away here. A Krieg for Elian. Don't really see that often anymore. Don't forget, such a close first map between these two teams. It was Winstrike's map pick of Overpass, 22-20 it ended at in favor of Winstrike. Apeks pushed them to the limit. And now the Russians look to do the same on Dust 2. If this goes to a 3rd map, I might die of exhaustion, guys. That's a very real possibility. Now, the hit towards the A site coming through. Winstrike, 5-on-5. 45 seconds on the clock, but a very slow push forward. If they're going to creep like this forward, Relaxer is going to have a field day with that up, but maybe they can catch him out. No, there's the first shot, and now from Goose, Dennis strikes, but quick trades come through. It's left all up towards Forrester, a 1 versus 3. And the Northug side, aka Apeks, they have themselves the bomb in their control. Forrester, he will find Freddy, 20 seconds to play with. And a smoke down that Kreese misses the shot, switches out to the M4 now, and a Molotov should surely win out the round. Forrester just has no way pushing forward. He's so exposed to Croissant. And it is now map point for the Apeks side. They've had a resurgence. Apeks fans rejoice. They've had a resurgence at the end of Dust 2 when they needed it the most. Winstrike, they found 7 of the first 8 rounds, and now, well, Northug, Apeks, they are on the grind themselves. They've managed to find 4 here. Winstrike, look at this buy. There's really nothing for Winstrike to play with here. Elian going down. That's the scout gone. Relaxer picked him off. There's a Galil, an AK, a Deagle, and a Mac-10. If Winstrike were able to pull out this round, this would be a massive blunder from Apeks. This would be an absolute catastrophe as Lackey finds one. Looking for more with the Deagle, but Croissant, he's only good for one. Winstrike, they're keeping it even. They're keeping it steady. A 3-on-3, a minute on the clock. And Winstrike, they have time to play with. Is Dennis going to get baited in by that noise? He just might be. And Forrester gets a quick kill to bring it into a 2-on-2. But Kreese, he's still fighting. It's Nickelback all on his lonesome. A 1v2 for him. He's got the B site in his control. But as soon as he taps that bomb, Kreese may go for the push. He's not going to. He's going to wait for his teammate. And that allows Nickelback the bomb at plant. And now he can position himself for this post-plant situation. He's got the eye towards the door. Going to be the two last players from Apeks pushing in. They're going to have to try and assault this fortress. There's not many defenders. It's just Nickelback. But the first player, it's got his back turns. That's Kreese. And now it's just Freddy Frog and Nickelback. He will keep Winstrike in this game. He will keep them alive. And he will find 13 in the 1 versus 2. That B site is so hard to retake, even when there's only one player there. Apeks are going to have to wait a little bit longer. A pause coming through. Pause for Apeks. And what do you decide to do here if you are Apeks? You've got decent weaponry. You've got the double orbs through. Is there a gun for Kreese? I don't think there's a gun for Kreese. No. What does he go for here? No armor bought up yet for him. He could go for a FAMAS and SMG. He goes for the FAMAS. A couple bits of utility. Oh, dearie me. Winstrike, their buy isn't too great either. 3 Galils, just a single AK for Nickelback, and Elian with the AWP. As it's aggression out towards long. Winstrike back to old reliable. Is this going to work out for them? Maybe not initially as Kreese. He gets a first, is able to back away. Elian. Oh, he gets a shot through the car. It's not enough for the kill, but he'll follow it up. Nails Croissant's head, takes him to the Shadow Realm. And oh, Elian! He's going to get a flickety flick. Hippity hop. Dennis is gone. Northung. They've managed to get themselves an opening. It's the long takes that again work out so well for Winstrike. Northung, aka Apeks, 2 players, or a single player down rather. They're going to have to go for the save. They're going to allow Winstrike 14, and this is going to be coming down to the full 30. Apeks know they have to save these weapons. They've got no cash in reserve. Winstrike, they'll keep 4 players alive. They're not going to chase. There's no need to. You need the cash as well. Like, you've got the AWP for Elian. That's a must-save. He had so much impact. 2 sublime kills found that opened up long for his team after they lost the initial pick. Oh my lord. The first... I can't overstate it enough how crazy this game has been. Are Apeks going to take this to a 3rd map? One final chance in regulation. Sorry, just messaging. Jesus, right. One final round. Oh, Apeks gonna force this to a 3rd map. Are Winstrike gonna crush Apeks' hearts here and force this to overtime? This could be all or nothing. Well, it is all. Potentially. But Grassant, 2 sublime opening kills. It's Crad and Lackey who are able to fight back. A 3-on-3 ensues. And there's still chances for both teams. Freddy Frog, he's only got an MP9. He's a sole defender towards B. Winstrike could have themselves a field day if they head that way. But no, Freddy Frog, he's going to nail down one with the Deagle. It's all up towards Forrester. A 1 versus 3 and an AK in hand. If he gets the first kill, he has a chance. But Freddy Frog won't allow it. At Apeks, they just about secure the 16th. It comes down to the wire. It was looking so strong at halftime, 10-5 for the Apeks side. They do manage to close it out in the end, but not without lack of trying for the Winstrike side. They find 9 in that second half. Not quite enough, though. And it is going to be a third map coming your way. Mirage. This is going to be a fun one. Stick around. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss this final map. It is going to be sick.